Coming to Wrinkle Society of Hope. If this is your first time, welcome. And those that are returning, thank you so much. Today, you are going to experience a woman who is courageous with a K share her motivational, encouraging story with you. Now, if you would like to know more information about Wrinkle Society of Hope, go to wrinklesocietyofhope.org. And don't forget, hit subscribe and share our YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you can hear about the new stories that come every week. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to hear from you all soon. Hello, Wrinkles family. Oh my goodness. I am so excited today because I met this jewel, this beautiful soul on the virtual roundtable with the amazing Kaya from Grambling State University. And on her roundtable that she brings guests and she speaks positivity and ministry. I just met this beautiful woman and her soul just resonated through the virtual world. So I had to bring her to the Wrinkles family. So please introduce yourself to Wrinkles.
Hello, Wrinkles family. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Brittany Lane, and I am a wife. First of all, I'm a child of God. Let me back up and give God his reverence. I'm a child of God. I am a wife. I am a daughter, and I'm a dog mom. And I am a woman that just really likes to uplift and to help others. I know that that's what I was placed on this earth to do. And, that's what I try to do every day that I walk, that I walk this earth. So I'm super happy to be here, Summer. Sister Summer, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's so amazing to be so young and to know your purpose. But it always shines through you every time you speak. It really does. What do you do for work as well?
Okay, so I'm in an interesting line of work. I am actually a park ranger. Um, a lot of people are like, well, what is that? What do you
Yeah.
do? So I work for the National Park Service. I'm a park ranger, and I've been in that line of work for about 8 years now.
Wow. I had to bring it up. I wasn't going to let that slide because I think it's so amazing. Like you said, it's an interesting field. You don't hear that often. And when I see your pictures, I'm just like, I love that. That's super cool to me.
I love it. It's a really cool job, and I love history. So I work at mostly historical and cultural centered parks. So it's really good, and it's a centered on African American history as the focal point. So that's just an extra bonus.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that is amazing. I thought that was great. And in your youth, I don't see any wrinkles physically on your face. So if you would
You gotta look a
ever
little closer, sis.
I really don't. No, I don't see any. But those that may be hidden, or if you ever would get a real wrinkle, because I think maybe you think you might have one. How do you think that would make you feel?
Whew. Oh goodness. I've had a couple, believe it or not, some wrinkles in my life. And, depending on which one that I talk about today, some of them have been really tough. It's been kind of like crushing at the moment until you figure it out. Because, when you're younger, sometimes you don't really know how to handle when difficulties come your way, or sometimes you handle it. I think all of us, no matter our age, we handle what comes to us the best way that we know how. And I'm really just in a form now of like rediscovering myself. Like, who is Brittany? I'm 33. I'm not ashamed. I'll be 34 in October. So I'm just really at the point now where I want to reinvent myself. I want to be better. I don't want to be affiliated with foolishness. I refuse to be. So, just I think that that's what I'm working on now, is to, after you get past that phase of like, oh goodness, this is something not right here. It's just, how do I uh, put my best foot forward, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So, what is something that you would like to share? One of those stories that you would like to share today?
Oh, I've got a couple. So, when you speak about wrinkles, death has a death can create so many wrinkles. And I can remember, when I think about back to when I was 7 years old and I lost my older brother. He passed away from a brain aneurysm. And so he was 19 years old and I'm 7. And so, you don't think about 19-year-olds are dying. You are just feeling like he has his whole entire life. He was like more like a father figure to me as well. He was my protector. He always made sure I was good. He was just the best big brother ever. And so, my wrinkle kind of started with that because when he passed away, I was just mad with God for a long time as a
Mm-hmm.
child, and I didn't understand. And then I had, adults that were kind of imposing things upon me, like I have to be strong and I've got to continue on. And, how do you tell a 7-year-old that's lost like a really monumental figure in her life? They're like, okay, you got to be strong. It's like, what does that mean? 7 years old, 2 weeks before my 8th birthday. He passed away on October 14th, and my birthday is October 28th. And that was the most devastating day of my life. I remember it just like it was yesterday. So that's when my first wrinkles started. And, now that I'm older, I really like realized some of the things that kind of resulted after I lost my brother. I would, kind of hide food and under the bed and kind of like a closet type eater. And then I would get depressed. And that's when my depression and anxiety kind of, started. I would say, as early as 7, 8 years old, it started. It was minute, but it started because I didn't know how to handle, this monumental change that had just happened.
Mm. I love that you said it that way, that change that just happened. Because a lot
Mhm.
of people don't understand that grief, it comes with change, any kind of change that happens. And that the fact that you were 7 years old, and sometimes we don't realize that mental health is even important in children,
Yes.
you know? And that has to
Yes.
be so hard for you to try to feel your emotions when everybody's telling you to be strong,
Yes.
you
It
know?
was. It was difficult.
Mhm.
Very much so.
And we do
Very much
that a
so.
lot. Those stop crying, be strong. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes we need to stop using that verbiage when we're talking to someone who is actually going through something.
That's right.
What
That's
would
right.
you tell your young 7-year old self now, everything that you know, looking back? What would you tell her?
Oof. I would tell her with that instance of that wrinkle, I would tell her that it is okay to cry. It is okay to talk to someone about your feelings because what I did was that I locked it. I just locked it inside. And, I've really lived my whole life until here recently of making others happy. And I realized, kind of where that came from is like, I got to be strong for this person, got to be strong for that person. And so it kind of created, I guess you could say that was a trauma, and it created like a coping mechanism for me is that I'm going to make sure that nobody feels how I felt.
Yeah.
Um, because having an adult tell you to be strong and you don't know what that is and your world is rocked. So when I like to pride myself when people come and talk to me because sometimes I just have strangers that will come and talk to me and let me know, about certain trials and tribulations that they're going through.
Mhm.
And I like to be that listening ear. And sometimes it could be the worst day, but I'll try to stop and be like, okay, God, like, why are you sending this person to me? Like, what do you want me to do? What can I say that can help lift their spirits? So, I would tell myself it's okay. It's okay to feel those feelings. To now that I know to talk to someone and to talk to someone that's a trusted someone, maybe a therapist or seek someone. But again, you're 7 or 8 years
Yeah.
old. Like you don't really you don't really think about that. It's like, I don't want to talk to somebody I don't know, but talk to someone that's trusted and try to find someone that's a safe haven. So that's what I would tell myself. And also tell myself that it gets easier, but you never forget them. Like, don't ever try to forget them.
Mhm.
Because death is sometimes, you have people that are surrounding you when it happens, like for the first few weeks,
Mhm.
you got that support, but it's the time after that. And that's why, I like to pride myself on being that person that is the time after, right? I let everybody else that comes, that's going to come, but
Mhm.
I'm the friend or I'm the person that you can call and talk to months down the road when everybody has left and gone, because I know what I felt like. So, I would share that with my 7 or 8 year old self too. It's just like, find you some good people to talk to, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel those emotions. Don't try to lock them away. Feel it, but then try to make your steps forward to make sure that you are living your best life. And the only the way that, let God order your footsteps and let you live your best life.
Yeah, so true. And I'm glad that you said people actually think grief's supposed to go away. Like there's a timeline on it. Like, oh, it's been 5 years. Why are you still? I'm like, it never goes away. You learn to live through it,
Yes,
but it
that's
never
true.
goes away. And I love that you say, why should I forget that person? Why? That's like that's not what we should do. You can honor that person and have that person still be a part of you to move you forward.
That's right.
So I'm
That's
so
right.
glad you said that. And what other, you said you had another wrinkle that you wanted to speak about. What was that?
Oh, so the second wrinkle is everything was kind of like a snowball effect with, my brother passing away. And, I just want to put the disclaimer out there. Like, I don't blame like his passing away for anything, but as life is, events happen and then things happen after that. It's like a snowball effect. So, one of the things that I have always struggled with throughout my almost my entire life has been like self-esteem,
Mm,
self-confidence. And so when I would, as a child, I was chunky. I was a chunky little girl. I was pretty, but I was chunky. And I was like, I didn't feel like I can say I'm pretty now because I know and I've done some intensive work on myself.
yeah.
But back then it was just like I would look in the mirror and I hated what I saw, even as like a child. And I had um cousins that were thinner or had longer hair or maybe had been a little, lighter complected that were like, oh, they're so beautiful. And I kept hearing that, oh, but Brittany, you're the smart one. But, oh,
Mhm.
they're so beautiful. And, that was another wrinkle that, people would kind of project things onto me. And, now that I'm older and I realize, and I appreciate you, Sister Summer, for the gracious welcome that you gave me about my spirit, because that's why I realize now that I'm older is that it is my spirit.
Yeah.
This outside, it's my spirit shines through.
Oh,
And so I'm learning that now, and I'm learning that can be one of the most beautiful things about a person is right, is their spirit. You can be a brick house, as the older generation would say. You could be that on the outside, but if your spirit is ugly, if your attitude is ugly, then what is it for? And so, I struggled with that. And it was sometimes some of the people that were closest to me
mm,
that made it very difficult. You need to lose weight. And they would say things, derogatory things in front of, people. It was broadcasted. And so that is a wrinkle that I'm still recovering. I walk by the mirror now and I'm just now at 33 years old, almost 34, loving what I see. I love my afro, right? Some people say, well, that's nappy. You need to get it straightened out.
mm-mm,
No, I love my hair. I love it in its natural state. No
mm,
offense to anybody that does the relaxer. No offense at all, but I did it for many years because I didn't know. But
yeah.
I love my natural hair. I love my round face.
Yeah.
Um, I love just myself now. And I have done the work. I've been in the gym now for 3 days a week, and I've lost probably about 40 pounds from
Mm.
the time that I was in Alabama, which, whew, shout out to the South, the dirty South, because the food is good.
Yes,
But if you
Louisiana.
don't watch, If you don't watch, sis,
Woo.
it'll just like, whew. And then I looked at some pictures, and that's when I realized it. And I looked at how I am now, and just like the continuous, like I don't deny myself things.
Yeah.
But if I have something, I make sure, I'm going to the gym. I got this, and I'm way more active in my line of work.
Mhm.
I'm walking a lot. I give tours a lot. I go, like I said, I go to the gym 3 days a week. And it's just like something that I do for myself because I figure like, hey, Brittany, you matter.
Yeah.
And just because some of the people, in maybe in family members may have said things about you when you were a child and you were grieving and,
Mm.
not knowing how to process that, like, but I realized that it's always been my spirit. And sometimes like the devil will attack you because there's greatness that's going to be birthed out of you. And if he can take you out, he will, because I still deal with depression and anxiety, but I'm much better than what I was, and I'm a work in progress. But I just refuse to let anybody steal my joy. And that's another wrinkle, that I'm trying to iron that one out, sis. I'm trying to get that one ironed out because I do love what I see now,
Yeah.
all the imperfections, everything that makes me, right? So I embrace that, but I'm also trying to be a healthier me at the same time. So it's all about balance.
All about balance. Yes, it
Yeah,
is. Health is wealth. And the fact is, yeah, I love the skin that you in, but if you're not totally agreeable with where you are, then make a change, you
that's
know?
right.
And that is what you have to do. And I love that. And I see that you're still pressing through wrinkles, you're building yourself up. And as we go through wrinkles and as we continue to grow, let's say you got a shirt made today. What would that shirt say?
I am worthy. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. I'm worthy of all the great things because I give that. And it's okay to want that in return.
Mhm.
I'm a giver, so I keep giving and giving and giving. And a lot of times, the givers kind of get left off to the side. I know, sis, I can sense your spirit, like you're a giver too.
Mhm.
So, you keep giving, you give to, we're both married women. We give to our husbands. We give to our parents. We give to our friends. You have children, you give and you give to jobs, but then what do you have left for you, right? And it's like, who's going to take care of you, if you don't take care of you? And so, kind of going back to, it's not selfish to have that time for yourself. And I'm worthy of having that time. And I'm just thank God that I have a husband that loves me. He's loved me at my heaviest. He loves me in my new and improved self. And, I love him for who he is. And I'm just very thankful and blessed to have that love, someone that's going to be, with you and to motivate you to be who you want to be. So I would say I am worthy because I know that now. And I didn't know that for most of my life, to be honest with you, and just being completely transparent.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I was worthy of anything good because my life was a struggle. It was always something that was going, losing my brother. My mother was a single parent. Um, I don't have the best relationship with my father per se. So, dealing with that and daddy issues and trying to find someone, and God placed me and my husband together. I'm a firm believer in that, but finding someone and then doing the work on myself so that I can be the best Brittany for Christ first,
Yes.
and be the best Brittany for me, and be the best Brittany, especially for our marriage, so
Yeah.
that I don't, you know, so that I can just continue to be have my husband and have my husband to love me and to be, in our marriage and to make it to, 30, 40, 50 years. It takes work, and you got to do the work within yourself. And that's what I'm doing now. I don't dot every I and cross every T, but I'm really trying.
Well, you are doing an amazing job and you are
Thank
a
you.
motivator. And I know that you're doing things to and aiming toward things. What are those things that you are aiming toward as continue to be a motivator for others?
So, if you peep the background here of the Queen's Initiative, so actually that was an idea that was kind of birthed from my love for, nonprofit, but also my love for just like helping others. And some of the issues that I just mentioned, my wrinkles, I want to incorporate that into my healing. And so I call it like my ironing out process. Sometimes it's all right to have a few of those wrinkles that are still left. You know how when you iron something and you don't get it quite good, but you got that little line after you done went over it. I want to know that I had it and that it was there and it helped propel me to be the woman that I am today. So the Queen's Initiative is something that I started a blog, and I love to write because actually, believe it or not, I am an introvert. So stuff like this is hard for me to do.
Oh,
So I like to write, and I'm a very good writer.
okay.
So I started this. It's like my journey to healing. And so eventually, my dream is to have the Queen's Initiative to become a nonprofit and to service Black and Brown girls, but not excluding anyone else. But my I guess you could say my target audience would be Black and Brown girls that have struggled with some of the insecurities that I have, that have struggled with some of the things. Maybe they came from single parent households.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt inadequate. Maybe they just, need someone to talk to and need an outlet. And so, the Queen's Initiative was birthed. And I got to give a shout out to Tuskegee too, Tuskegee University. I know you're Grambling, but Tuskegee University, whoop whoop, TU. So I got to give them, I got to give them a shout out.
Yes.
But I used to work there, and it changed my life. I worked with some wonderful young men and women, and but it was the young women. I still keep in contact with pretty much a lot of them today. But my girls, they call and they check up, and I'm so proud of them. And I kind of was like a mentor, and they mentored me as well, right? So it's like the student has become the teacher. And
Yeah.
so the Queen's Initiative, I want to help young girls get to where these young ladies were. They have wrinkles too. They had some wrinkles that they've ironed out, and they continue to have wrinkles, but they just persevere in spite of. They just keep going, and it's like some of the best young ladies that I've ever had the privilege of working with. And I want to help other young girls and also teach them about the power of historically Black colleges and universities,
Yeah.
or HBCUs. Now, I didn't personally go to one, um, but I have I've worked at one, and I've seen how the HBCU campuses work. I see how much care that the professors take for the students. I've seen it, and I've seen how they will tell them off and tell them I love you at the same time, like you could do
Exactly.
better than this. And I just love the atmosphere. And so I want to expose young ladies to that atmosphere and let them know, the history of HBCUs, and also to connect them, kind of like Sister Kaya, shout out to the virtual roundtable too. But like Sister Kaya says, she wants to be like a connector and a bridge. And I actually call myself a launching pad. Like,
Mm.
I am very observant, and I like to watch people and see how they are in their element. And then whatever I can do to get you there, like, phew, go soar. Like, that's what I want. I want you to be beyond me, because it's not about me. It's about fulfilling my purpose on this earth. And that's to help others to be the best versions of themselves. And I think, that's why, sometimes I think I go through a lot of things. It's because I'll try to get sidetracked, but it's to sidetrack me off of like the greater vision. So, I'm pressing forward. Keep me in prayer, everyone that watches this, but I'm pressing forward in spite of. So the Queen's Initiative is my blog, and I'm very excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited, but I cannot wait. I didn't know you had your blog. So is that up and running? Is there a website or a link that they can go to?
It is. So the website is the Queen's Initiative, like the Queen's Initiative.com. So that's my blog site, and I invite anybody that would like to come. And there's also a contact link on my page. So when you visit the blog, you can read a couple of things, and I'm very transparent and open. And this is the beginning. So, it's been a little while. I wrote in at the beginning of this month in August, but I hope to, continue to write, and because that's how I'm healing. It's just to write, to get it out, and to deal with it and face it. So y'all come and visit and leave some comments, and love to make new friends, and I'd love that.
Awesome. Well, as you see, the link is coming across there. Definitely want to connect to that. Blogs are powerful. It's good to read and engage in those kind of things. So we definitely are going to have to visit. And
Yes,
when you get ready to launch your nonprofit, we'll have to have you back so you can tell us how you guys are doing, what things we can do to help, donate, things like that. So I'm
love
so
that.
happy that you came to visit today.
Thank you so much for having me. And nothing happens by happenstance. So I appreciate you, Sister Summer, for inviting me onto your platform, and just continue to keep doing the good work, which is God's work. And I love you, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Love you too. Mwah. And bye, Wrinkles.